A few hours ago, Anonymous sent out another video telling the world that Anonymous has arrived in Ukraine, will continue supporting the country, and that they will hack NATO and will expose America for not getting involved in what's happened. The video went into detail about President Joe Biden and how he needs to step up and take more action to help the people of Ukraine. The video details the following. Citizens of the world, the President of America has lied once again to the American people. There's many that don't care that the entire United States government lies constantly, but this lie may cost you and millions of others their lives. We are Anonymous, the forces that are in America. The government and media are lying about both, and our security teams will take action. Hacks into NATO and other officials will be exposed. The media are not doing enough to help Ukraine at the moment, and the president is losing the people's trust. Ukraine needs help and the United States isn't stepping up. The American population is going along with this at the moment, and we shouldn't forget what this country did to Iraq and Afghanistan, manufacturing their own crises so they could send in their own troops. America shouldn't fall for this. Your life is at serious risk if Biden doesn't back down and help. Russia are the ones who are controlling this narrative at the moment, and it's important that we do everything we can in order to help out Ukraine. The West needs to step up and join forces, but as of right now the President of the United States is not coming across well. We need a leader in the United States who wants peace, not someone who will hide and cower. Beware those who are pretending to be us, and who are trying to send out the wrong message. We're on the side of the people, and we're against oppression, and we're trying to ensure that this comes to an end as soon as possible. But in order for this to happen, we need everyone to do their part. We have people working day and night in order to get to the bottom of what's happening right now, and why certain elected officials aren't doing their jobs. The President has said nothing about this on social media, but did sign an order to provide up to $600 million to Ukraine. This is very important, but we're now hearing that Ukrainian President Zelensky said that the Ukrainian people are not listening to US officials and will not evacuate the area. End quote. Anonymous have said that the pressure everyone's been applying seems to be paying off, as Ukraine agrees today that it will hold talks with Russia in Belarus. Ukrainian President Zelensky said the two sides would meet at an unspecified location, and did not give a precise time for the meeting. Although Anonymous are in the news at the moment because of everything that's happening in regards to Ukraine, the group has always been vocal about government officials. A few months back, the group Anonymous posted a message that was directed towards the President of the United States, and also the American people. The warning comes after the group identified that various current issues need to be addressed, and that the American people need to be put first. They want to hold those accountable for their actions, saying that we don't have long before it's too late. One of the members said the following: "Hear us. You are mere steps away from losing everything that your foundations are based upon. Believe that there's still good out there, and fight for what you believe in, but most importantly, fight for your freedom. Unite, stand together and demand a better future, because if you don't, it will be the end. America is the last great world power. Don't lose that title. If America falls, it will be the end." End quote. The group also pointed out that they shouldn't be confused with people peddling out their theories, and that their focus should be and always will be ensuring that everyone is treated fairly. Corruption is highlighted, and pointing out the hypocrisy. They also highlighted other issues that include how the president is acting, and things like health medical costs for Americans. One thing they was critical of was US President Joe Biden, saying that he's been in Washington now for over 50 years, and that he hasn't brought about much change, saying that this isn't about sides, but rather who's doing the most for the American people, noting that a strong, well-structured government works for the people, and not the other way around, with members saying that recent comments should raise concerns for how the current president is doing. Many point out that jobs and factories are being outsourced to countries such as China, and this could have long-term impacts on everyday Americans. One anonymous member briefly touched on this topic, saying the following: "We need leaders that will put their country first, that will put their people first, and most importantly make them feel valued. I think that's what we're missing at the moment. Divide will be your downfall. See through the mist, take one step back and look at what's happening. Stand up for your rights and hold those accountable who aren't putting the people first. Once we unite and stand, they will fall." End quote. One person replied to the comments saying the following: "Our government is deeply involved in dealings that are questionable, and it's tough to say when the American people last felt appreciated by our government. I love our country and we have a great country, but I don't like this road that we're going down. I feel like these actions are going to lead us wide open. Ultimately, they will reach their goals of power and money, but where does that leave the rest of us?" End quote. After criticizing government officials, Anonymous also pointed out how things like medical expenses need to be taken more seriously, saying that we live in a time where those in power can become multimillionaires and rub shoulders with the super rich, but yet the people who put them there are ultimately left behind. Many members have said they don't take sides and that they point out injustices, and hold those accountable who have gone back on their words. Insulin prices in America is just one of the talking points the group was touching on, and which seemed to hit home for many Americans, with many of them saying that themselves or people they know can't do basic things in life like survive, saying that it's got to the point where people are not even living anymore. According to diabetes.org, in 2018, 34.2 million Americans, or 10.5% of the population, had diabetes. Of the 34.2 million adults with diabetes, 26.8 million were diagnosed, and 7.3 were undiagnosed. Those with diabetes need insulin in order to properly metabolize glucose, but due to insulin's increasing price, many everyday Americans can't afford it. The sad truth is that when inventor Frederick Banting discovered insulin back in 1923, he only had good intentions and didn't want to profit from his discovery. His words were that it would be unethical for a medical professional or a doctor to profit from a discovery that would go on to save people's lives. Frederick's co-inventors were James Collop and Charles Best, and they all decided to sell the patent to the University of Toronto for $1 each. Frederick Banting said the following: "Insulin does not belong to me, it belongs to the world." End quote. Fast forward to the modern day though, and the cost of insulin has tripled over the last 10 years. It also speaks volumes about how things are when you learn that a 2018 study revealed that to create 1 vial of human insulin, it costs manufacturers between $2 and $3. Currently, companies sell a single vial of insulin for nearly $1,500. It's especially upsetting when you learn that the inventors never wanted to make any money from it, and said that it belonged to the world and not them. One user said the following after hearing about the announcement: "Things really do seem bleak at the moment, and you can tell that it's getting to people. There's higher fuel prices than ever. People are struggling to get hold of insulin due to increasing prices, and there's many other things, just to name a few." End quote. This user said the following: "I don't know how people in America do it. It's borderline criminal. What hurts the most is that it's so cheap to produce. Multi-billion-dollar corporations want to squeeze the most out of people, and it's sickening. For them, that extra bit of profit is worth someone's life. End quote. Another user said this: what good is there left in the world when you have people that can't even do basic things like live? This is when you know that something is wrong. A serious ethical discussion needs to be had about this, and the whole system needs changing. The thing is, this isn't even a problem with the rich, or stopping people from getting money like so many point out. The fact that they can help the American people and still be rich is the issue here. They can literally keep the majority of their wealth and help countless people, yet they choose not to. Just let that sink in. End quote. One of the things they've been talking about is that a shift is happening. A lot of this revolves around that of rich people, and how the media should be held accountable for some of the things going on in the world right now. One of the members said the following: if people are not aware by now that there's a pattern going on, then you need to wake up and fast. These ideas are being used to control you, and it's working. Every other year something like this will come along and cause people to worry. Fear is one of the most powerful weapons we have in this world. Fear is what keeps people in line, and fear is what we've considered normal. Once you break free of this though, you start to see through the deception, and you're even able to guess upcoming events that are going to happen. End quote. Many people commented on this post, with one person saying the following: although I think that this has been around for ages now, I do remember a world where it wasn't so obvious. That's the thing for me now, it's like they don't even seem to hide what they're doing. I remember when I was young the news was the news, and everything wasn't so much about politics. But then again, I was born during the 50s, which could be argued as one of those periods where there wasn't many rules, and certain installations were like the Wild West, and they were doing pretty much whatever they wanted. While this person said the following: I think the point that Anonymous is trying to make is that the people need to start stepping up in regards to certain topics. I've always said that the reason they're doing this is because there's no repercussions. When we find out that they've spent billions of taxpayers' money on things that fall through, no one cares. When they've committed crimes against humanity, no one cares. When they create rules that benefit them and not the masses, no one cares. This is the main reason they do it, because they know there will be no repercussions for their actions. That's how we've got to this point in time. They can literally rob us blind and no one will do anything. We will occasionally hear it on the news, get angry for a minute, then go on our phones and forget about it. Until people start standing up and going to the source directly, nothing will change. So what do you guys make of Anonymous's comments, and some of the issues that they've highlighted? Do you agree with what they're saying, and do you think these problems can be addressed? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.